It's funny, living with a cannibalistic tribe, you got to be on the same wavelength, you know? And you have to be almost when you're traveling together in high stress situations. Like one time we were in Mali, Africa, in Bamako. And we were going down south to a place called the escarpment where the earth just broke apart into two parts. And there was this village that was there, and when it broke apart, the two villages couldn't communicate anymore, and so they evolved differently. So we wanted to see, how does this human experience up here evolve, and how did this human experience down here evolve when they're the same people? They just got split. And so anyway, we were going, and I had hired a car and an interpreter. And then I met back up with Mark, and at that point, a car and an interpreter had kind of latched onto him. And mine just happened to be Christian, his happened to be Muslim. But the point was is that they didn't get along, and there was an underlying tension before we ever arrived on the scene. And so then the Muslim group tried to put his bags into the trunk of their car. And I was like, no, we're going with my guy. And so anyway, so we end up in mine, and we take off. Well, halfway through the town, there's all the people, you're barely moving through the town, and here comes this diesel Mercedes on the other road and just smashed into the back of our car because they were mad that they'd taken us away. And so we got out the car, and knives were pulled. There was a big thing, and everybody's standing around in a big circle, all the people of Bamako. And I don't know what they were chanting, but it was probably like, fight, 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 fight. And I said to Mark, I said, one thing we've learned is that money can solve most problems. And I opened up the bag, and I always carry a brick of $501 bills.
It looks good.
It looks amazing. And so I just grabbed a handful. I just walked over almost into the middle of this fight. And they were just, you know, posturing and screaming at each other. And I just threw it in the air. And everybody comes diving into the middle to get their dollars. And the fight was over. Because there were just, the mass crowd just went boom. And I said, let's go. We just took off walking on foot.